You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.
Hey, get those yawns out of there, Ted, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Keys to the City, and the trio is back. Well, you should be a little nervous right now because I woke up to some fascinating news. UConn fans got to be holding your breath right now because
he's not leaving.
Are you kidding me? So here's my thing.
Good. It's like Wolf of Wall Street. I ain't leaving. I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Here's what I was going to say about that whole situation. And then we'll get into it. There's a reason why I did Joseph McGuire. Like I said last night, special treat. Last night we did the NBA Finals preview. We are less than a few hours away. Can't wait for it. If you didn't get to check out last night's show, we previewed the NBA Finals, our predictions, MVP winners. So check it out at Keys to the City. As you know, Joseph McGuire is here. Here's what I was going to say quickly about this. If he doesn't take the LA Lakers job and stays with the UConn Huskies, he'll never take another job because it's as big as it gets in the NBA. That's like taking an offer from the New York, being in like a D1 school for like, I'm trying to think of one of the top programs in baseball and college baseball.
Oh,
no, in college baseball or something, and the Yankees. And
that would be
Yankees
Texas,
are like
Stanford.
Okay, and the Yankees come down and say, "We want you. And we're going to give you a match." You say no to it, till you're just never going to go to the NBA, which is fine. But you're just never going to go because you don't get any higher than the LA Lakers. It's a huge deal that the Lakers are targeting him and trying to offer him a massive deal. So we're talking massive. It's got to be up to close to what Ty Lue had. If I'm thinking massive, it's got to be 12, 13 million per year. If he says no to that, he ain't never going to the NBA.
Which is like, I don't know what he makes for these. I would say like
it don't compare to that, bro.
Probably.
I mean, you're going to the LA Lakers. Just the brand.
I don't know if it's the right. I don't know if it's the right spot for him. We don't need to get into it. I just don't think.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Like, that's the big news that came out.
He coaches like a high school coach. He's very intense. He's intense with the referees.
I think the Lakers, as a Laker fan, the Lakers should do it.
The way he coaches the players.
Yes.
You know, the NBA, the coaches don't have any respect. They have no power. It's all about the player empowerment. My thing is this: you really want your first job to go have to deal with LeBron James and the Lakers? Like, it's not really what I would want as my first job. I get it.
Sometimes you have to make the uncomfortable move, and I think this is a move that the Lakers need to make.
They don't have any salary cap space.
I get it.
They don't have any financial wiggle room. They don't have good draft picks. You got a guy who's going to be about 40 years old than LeBron James. You got a guy in Anthony Davis who's constantly injured, right?
Hey, if they're going after the best, they're going to go after the best. And Dan Hurley is the best in the game right now in the college game. So you take a chance with it. Sometimes it works. Sometimes maybe
I would rather see it get like
Ted. Sometimes maybe good. Sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah,
that's just how the way it works.
He would be good for like a team like the Thunder, a younger team.
They got their guy. I'm excited as a Laker fan. I'd be excited.
You know, here's the thing: if he, look, Kentucky, lateral move.
Yeah.
I think if you look at where UConn is and where he's got UConn, you could argue they're as good as any college basketball.
They're the top program in college basketball, Joe.
Now, the Lakers, I agree with you, Trevor. I think you're talking about the New York Yankees of the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, they make you a 12-year, whatever, $100 million. I mean, how would you
leave Ohio State for the Giants?
If an NFL team comes to you and says, we want to offer you a massive contract and to be our guy.
You want to be the Giants coach with Ohio State when you can reign.
Because if you get to here's my overall.
I don't know that the Giants is equivalent to the Lakers.
No, I know that. But I'm using it as for Trevor in the sense of team. Ohio State is his college football team. And Giants are you leaving Ohio State where you control?
Yes, because you're never going to get as higher as you can in the NFL. You can start at the Giants.
Are you leaving Ohio State to go to Kansas City?
Yeah. If somebody offered with Patrick Mahomes and that team, yes. I'm all yes. If a professional team take away the Lakers brand, it's just a brand that you could think about. I know they haven't won championships, but it's the brand. I promise we're going to talk about two teams that have a huge brand in baseball in a few minutes. I promise you. But it's a big deal right now because Dan Hurley, this came out of nowhere. You sent it to me. I woke up at 7:45 to the text, and I was like, wow. Did not ever expect this because we all thought J.J. Redick was the guy. If the best,
there was reports I thought the other day they said J.J. was
the NBA is coming to you. If the NBA is coming to you, Ted, you are or any professional sports team is coming to you. You're doing your job at an an excellent rate, I should say, in college. So they want to say, hey, we like you enough to give you a contract. And if the Lakers, out of all the teams, are going to give you that contract, if you say no to it, bro, I don't know if you'll ever get another deal like it.
He'll get another deal. It just might not be the Lakers. But the comfortability to be able to dominate for college basketball, UConn.
But it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's all I'm going to rest with. I rest my case on that.
Teddy, I think you're right, though, as far as I don't think he's the right guy for that job.
Joe, the only thing I can like Nick Saban. Like Nick Saban, Calipari, Pitino, they've all like – here's the thing. Billy Donovan, he kind of maxed out at Florida. There was nowhere really else. He had taken Florida to the promised land. They were the best college basketball team for about during his kind of duration. So I get it. His peak – was maxed out at college basketball, so he tried the NBA, and I think he's still a really good coach.
But Hurley's done everything.
Hasn't worked for the Chicago Bulls. We've seen Pitino do it. We've seen Calipari do it. We've seen Saban do it. We've seen a lot of college coaches move up. We haven't seen the success of a college coach go into the NFL as much as we've seen kind of reverse college go into the NFL. Here's where I would say is, has he maxed out his college basketball career as a coach? Or does he have more to give? Because if you think like there's no higher where he can go in college basketball, it's like, all right, then I guess I should at least try.
Here's all I'll say.
See how it works, and if it doesn't, I will always get another job in college basketball.
Here's how I just
think he has.
Here's how I just rested.
I would just say though, with this UConn team, this team is loaded again. He's got one of the best classes again.
No matter Duke's.
He's got a bunch of returning players. He can be the first coach since John Wooden to three-peat. No Coach K.
Okay. Here's the thing.
No.
I'm going to answer this.
I would say this. He would still get an NBA offer. Yes, it might not be the Lakers. And that's probably what you're trying to get as. You can get another NBA offer. You just probably won't get the Laker job.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Usually you're getting a lesser team when you're a college coach, right? They give you a team that's coming off a terrible
market. Brad Stevens got the
smaller
Celtics
market, generally speaking,
and he took the Celtics job.
Right.
And Billy Donovan got the Bulls job. Pitino, I believe, what do you get? The Celtics job.
Oh, Celtics. Calipari had the Nets.
Got the Celtics job. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Pitino.
Do you remember?
Was it Pitino? It was Pitino. All I'm going to finish with, and then we're going to get over to what we're here for.
You started this conversation.
Oh, I know, but it's a good conversation. I'm not saying anything wrong with it. What I'm saying
you just wanted to leave because you think Duke will get their ass beat by UConn because Dan Hurley will out-coach Shire.
Okay, anyways, what I was going to say
is, you don't want that to happen. You want UConn to stink.
Duke's got the #1 recruiting class in the country.
And UConn would still beat them.
No, they wouldn't. Anyways, what I was going to finish with, you said something very, very briefly in that spiel. And what I was going to say is he can't get any higher than he can right now because he's won 2 national championships. He's done everything he needed to. He accomplished that, and he's getting offers now looked at in the NBA. You did your job, man. You did your job. It only was a few years, but you did your job. You won 2 national championships. First team to do it since your Florida Gators back in 06, 07 thing. So Billy Donovan, guess what? He got his opportunity. And he made the most of it. So that's all I'm going to finish with. But we're just talking about brands. We're just talking about the LA brand, the LA Lakers. Well, let's be honest. The 2 biggest brands are going to be playing in the Bronx this weekend in a much, much anticipated matchup between 2 of the best, a titan of a matchup, I should say. The LA Dodgers are coming into town with Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy. Anybody else want to say anything from that all-star lineup against the New York Yankees? Led by Yeah, thank you. Exactly. And Yamamoto. And we get to see Yamamoto this weekend too. Going against the New York Yankees. Yeah, I know. Going against the New York Yankees in the biggest matchup in this early season. And 2 of the best right now in baseball. The Yankees tied with the best record in baseball with the Philadelphia Phillies. Do you know the last time that's happened actually at this point of the season? Was in 2009. Do you want to know who played in the 2009 World Series?
Yeah, Phillies and Yankees.
Good. Glad you remember that. So
I just kind of overtalked Joe. Joe knew that too.
No, we didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. You're just saying that. I did. I did.
Joe will give you stats. Joe will tell you stats off of that.
So when we think of this matchup, guys, and this is going to be a just overall month for the New York Yankees, I think a true test because I'm not going to downgrade what they've done. They've been incredible. This team is different from past years. This team looks like it's going to be playing in the Final Four, hell, even in the Final Two in this postseason. They're that good. They're that talented, and they're still missing some huge pieces on this team and are going to be coming back very soon, which is going to make this team, this lineup, and this rotation, wow, incredible and very, very hard and tough to beat come postseason time. But now we get a true test. We're playing against the NL's best. And I get it. The Phillies have been great this year, but the NL has been dominated by the LA Dodgers. Yes, they haven't won many titles during this run, but they have been dominant. I think we all can agree that this has been an NL led by the Dodgers. So they're coming into town, going against two of the best players in baseball, as well as the New York Yankees. So let's dive into it. When we think of this game, when we think of this matchup, what do we expect to see? What do we expect? Pitching. Luis Gil has a huge matchup Sunday night. Then you get Nestor Cortez on Saturday. And then our guy, Poteet. I don't know where he came from, but he's been pitching solid for the New York Yankees. It just shows how deep this team is offensively and in the pitching rotation right now. And as a Yankee fan, you got to be excited. But are we nervous to think of how this series can play out, maybe moving forward, because you still got to play the Braves this month, the Orioles, Ted. You got to play the Mets, who I get it, the Mets have been awful, but they always give the Yankees some sort of trouble. And you got to play Boston. So, Ted, when you think of this series, is this a series that could really, or this month overall, I should just say, does this shape up the New York Yankees and what we're going to see moving forward? I mean, we're a month away from the All-Star break, bro.
No, I look at this as like when we used to see like Manning versus Brady. It's those series or games that you're just super excited. You circle. You know, you go look at the NFL schedule and you're like, yep, Mahomes versus Rodgers. Mahomes versus this guy. Lamar versus Burrow. Like, these are – for baseball, you don't get that. This series is exactly what baseball, I mean, could want. You get two great teams with, I mean, like Colin Cowherd did the other day. The batting order of the Dodgers Yankees combined
is a better lineup than any lineup in All-Star.
I would say better lineup than any All-Star team you could put together almost this year. Yeah. Realistically, I mean, from Mookie to Soto to Ohtani, then Judge at first 4, Freddie Freeman at 5. I mean, Stanton's playing great. Will Smith, Gleyber. I mean, not Gleyber. Oh, I'm gonna say Gleyber Torres, Joe's favorite player, Anthony Volpe. No, listen, I'm excited. I mean, you know, I didn't want to say it, but I'll say it anyways. I think about when these two teams played last year. Remember, Judge was kind of rolling.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Dodgers Stadium. This also when Judge hurt his toe.
Please don't jinx it.
But we don't have to worry about it because there's not a 6-inch.
I don't give a shit. Just don't even jinx it. I don't give a shit. Don't even jinx it. Don't even say that into the universe, bro.
Listen, I think it's good for baseball. I'm excited for the series. You know, I don't see any team getting swept. You know, someone's going to win 2. Someone's going to win 1. You know, for the Yankees, it's okay. We've won 7 straight. You know, hopefully we continue that streak tonight and beat Minnesota. Mm-hmm. You know, keep the party rolling.
Yep.
Listen, I just think as a baseball fan or a casual baseball, this is fun. Like, this is great. It's Yankee Stadium. It's Dodgers. You know, you get Ohtani playing. Listen, Ohtani draws, especially, you know, like there was things about Ohtani playing for the Yankees maybe the last year or two. You know, anytime Ohtani played from the Angels, came over, it was a big noise. Listen, I just think the way the Yankees are playing now with Soto and Judge and Stanton and Volpe, you could put those 4 guys up against any team. It's best 4 in the entire Major League Baseball. You know, you're going to really, I think Sunday night for me, to see Luis Gil go against this Dodger lineup, I really, you know, he's been the best pitcher in baseball the last 2 months.
At least in the AL. I think
he was like 7-0. I think the last 3 starts, he's got like a .68 ERA. He's been phenomenal, dominant. You know, he's really been the ace of this staff.
Yes.
Since day one. And I mean, listen, right now he should be the front runner for the All-Star game starter for the AL.
And
that's really where I'm kind of looking at. Like, I'm looking for like the little things, right? Like, I'm looking to see like on Sunday, Luis Gil pitch against his Dodger lineup and really see if this streak in his pitching can, because what you're thinking is like, I know it's June, it'll be like June 9th or 10th, but it's like, I want to see him in a big Sunday night baseball game against this Dodger lineup. What was his mindset? How will he pitch? Because what I'm going to say, I'm going to correlate this to, you know, October 10th. Right, you know, when it's like game 6 and we need to win, it's 3-2, the Yankees are up, and we want to close out the series, and he's the guy on the mound, right? How is he going to handle these high-impact situations? Also, of course, you want to see this Judge and Soto train continue, right? I mean, They're the two best hitters in baseball right now. I think the numbers speak for themselves. I just looked at the thing. They are 1-2, and which, Joe, maybe you can help me out. It said F WAR instead of WAR. I don't know if F WAR is something else or continue, but it said they are 1-2. Soto's tied for second with Bobby Wood Jr. for second, but that would be the first teammates to be 1-2 in WAR since A-Rod and Kevin Griffey Jr. in 1996, and then of course
Joe,
Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth did it like 7 years in a row.
Let me ask you this, Joe. I'm going to come over to you, and Ted was just giving off like three of the biggest contributors to this team's success right now, and Luis Gil, who's been, I mean, oh my God.
No, it's Luis Gil.
Oh, Louis. Okay, thank you. As he's been unfreaking believable, and has really been like, I mean, him. You're gonna have 1A, 1B when Cole comes back, man, and Rodon. Oh, damn! I mean, that all of a sudden becomes a 1-2-3 punch that you're getting excited. But take away Soto and Judge because they're obviously gonna do their thing and they're gonna just continue to destroy the ball. I want to ask you, Joe, moving forward with this team, with this schedule coming up. This overall team, it could be anybody. I really wanted to get your opinion on this. And Ted, I'll obviously come to you with this too, but I want to get Joe on this take. And who do you think is the biggest X factor? It could be Soto, it could be Judge, it could be the obvious, but is there somebody maybe just that you're like, keep an eye on this guy because this guy is the reason that this team could be take it to a whole nother level, which is, championship material, which they already are, but very, very special.
All right, so that guy's Garrett Cole. If Garrett Cole is the Garrett Cole of last year and what he's really been, the last 5 or 6 years in baseball,
say goodnight.
Because I'll tell you right now, I think you're going to get a really great season out of Rodon. I mean, I thought Luis Gil, I was shocked he wasn't on this team last year. We talked about that. I think that kid's got great stuff. It's been nearly unhittable, and I do like the idea, like you guys were just saying, of seeing him in a big game against the best lineup in baseball. Let's see how unhittable you are against that lineup.
Yep.
Great
but
test.
To me, dude, I'm telling you, I think if Garrett Cole comes in here with Gil and Rodon, and that's your big three, I mean, there would be no stopping this team. The hitting is going to listen. This lineup is too good. To the point where, again, the reason why Giancarlo Stanton is hitting decently and hitting the power numbers.
He wrote some shots last night.
He is seeing good pitches.
He just can't run.
Because this lineup is so relentless. It's such a tough lineup to navigate. I'll say this, when you look at these two teams head to head, rotation-wise, maybe a slight edge to the Dodgers, as good as the Yankees have been.
Is it because of Joe? Is it because of the fact that they're more proven, or why? Because I don't know. The numbers speak for itself that the Yankees have.
Listen. I'm saying, listen. Numbers aside, because again, I think there is going to be a little bit of a settling in. I don't expect. Look, that run of like 18 straight starts with 5 innings pitched and 2 runs or less. It's the best streak in Yankee history. I mean, this is elite pitching that we're seeing right now with a lineup that's putting up. Yeah. I think I saw the other day when they score 3 runs. I don't know if they've lost a game this year. When they score 3, and look, Glaber's.
Come on, Joe. Just give us. Come on, Joe.
He's been a little more productive,
Hey, get that value for trading.
If you look at the bottom of the Dodgers lineup, and I think if you look at third base, where you got kind of a platoon, Chris Taylor's hitting 098. Muncie's got 9 homers. I think he's hit about 220.
But
so they're not getting a ton of production. But they're not getting a ton of production from third base. The Dodgers are probably going to go out there and get Jose Ramirez at the deadline, I would assume, because to me that's a gaping hole. But if you look at their 7, 8, 9, it's not producing what the Yankees lineup is producing. It doesn't have DJ LeMahieu. It doesn't have a killer combination at catcher like the Yankees do. Bullpen, I mean, I think the Yankees bullpen is better than the Dodgers. Dodgers got a nice bullpen too, but the Yankees
fascinating. You said the catchers, which is fascinating because there was a point that they were batting a combined like 111 at one point.
Oh, they got off to a horrendous start.
Here's my thing about this. There's not a guarantee out in this lineup right now. And that's incredible on the pitch and the coaching staff. My big thing, and Ted, I'll get into it with you. If you want to take it, if you have somebody who do you think is, you could go ahead because I have my person.
Well, here's what I'm saying to the pitching staff. Joe, are you saying the Yankees pitching staff is not as good as them today, or what it could be because
because we're not proven yet.
Teddy, today by the numbers, yes.
But he doesn't think they're proven
overall based on track record and talent. I think the numbers you're seeing the Dodgers rotation put up right now, that's what their numbers are going to be in the end of the season. It's also the National League.
So it comes
because I would say that. Well, here's the thing: they have the DH now, so that's no more excuse where they pitch to the pitcher.
Yeah, but hold on. Let's talk about that for a hot second because there are not a lot of National League teams that have invested in an actual DH.
Phillies,
the Dodgers. Yeah. I think the Mets maybe being one of the only two. It still ends up, a lot of these teams, your DH is probably, your utility infielder. Mm-hmm. They're still not really putting a great amount of effort into going out and getting a David Ortiz or an Edgar Martinez. Yeah. So it's not a pitcher hitting, but
that's why the Phillies lineup is so deadly because they have Kyle
like Luis Sojo and Enrique Wilson. You're still not seeing top talent in the DH role in the National League. It's just not happening.
That's why the Phillies are become very dangerous because Schwarber has become an unstoppable force having that guy at DH where he sometimes can play the field, but just having him come in and having that postseason experience is a huge, positive for that team moving forward. I agree with you on that. There's not a lot of NL teams that come to mind that'd be like, oh yeah, they got a great DH. I mean, yeah, they implemented the rule, but they really haven't kind of, I guess, used it to their benefit.
They haven't embraced it. They have not embraced it.
Think about the two best teams are the Dodgers and Phillies, and they have Schwarber and Ohtani as their DHs.
To be honest, I think if you were the Dodgers and Ohtani was able to play in the outfield and you could move Mookie Betts to second base, you could probably fix your third base situation as well.
Mookie does play second.
Yeah.
No, he plays shortstop, I thought. Mookie plays shortstop.
You sure?
Positive.
Isn't he?
Look it up.
Isn't that kid something else? By the way,
he's the best athlete in baseball.
He's the best athlete in baseball. To be able to play second, short, center, and right is I get it. Different skills.
I get it. Some people might say Judge, but Mookie Betts is the best athlete in baseball, and I don't think there's a close second to me. And Boston, and Red Sox fans, hide your eyes because, damn, that's one of the all-time blunders of a trade that you made.
Aaron Judge could not be an infielder.
No, he's too. I mean, can you imagine
him at third base?
Judge being, first base would be the only thing to me.
So so last year he played second base. This year he's playing shortstop.
Yeah, so he plays everything. Ted, I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to answer this question.
He's played right field, second base, right field, DH, shortstop, right field, second base, shortstop.
He does everything.
But it would be ideal for them to have Muncy be their DH is kind of my point. With Ohtani obviously not being able to play the field or pitch, he's taken up that DH role. Muncy has to play third base in a platoon with Taylor. He's terrible. And Muncy's hit 9 dingers, I think, but again, hitting like 220. They're just not getting any production from third base at all.
I would just say if the Yankees have a healthy Cole and Clark Schmidt and he's your fifth, Clark Schmidt is your fifth.
Who's your X factor? Who's your X factor of this team moving forward?
I mean, I would say two guys. One guy is producing.
I love how Ted always has to give the two.
Oh, if I can get a two guy,
of course, Ted wants to just make the rules as he goes.
Well, of course, because I'm the captain now.
Here he goes.
And it's Joe's two favorite players because it's the first guy is easily and he's producing. It's Stan. Because if Stan plays and continues to stay healthy, and that's the biggest always factor. But if he stays healthy and continues to produce, dude, it takes this lineup to a whole other level because you assume right now, based on everything you've seen, Soto, Judge, and Volpe are going to be the three horses. All right, they're going to carry the team. They're going to be the big Clydesdale in front. But if you can get Stanton to get back to 85, 90% of what he was when the Marlins when he won the MVP, where he's like if he gets 40 home runs and 100 yards, like he takes
he's
that lineup
for 42 right now.
Yep.
So you look at it, he's got 15 rating. Like last night, I told you, boom, ripped the ball like one hop to center field, like 275 feet, like on a rope. So if he can continue to hit and stay healthy, I just think it takes the lineup to like a whole nother level, right? Because, and I don't think many teams, maybe only the Phillies and Dodgers can match it with a big four. But
I would say also
one of the
Orioles.
most feared hitters in baseball.
I would add the Orioles.
Giancarlo Stanton. And at any point or another, he can hit the ball to the moon. He's so effing strong. I get it. He can't run. I don't need you to just hit line drive ropes like he has. Think about it. This team has a potential for 350 home run guys.
I'll go at least 40. I'll definitely go 40.
Well, definitely 40, but 50. But
50 that's a lot.
But you're talking Soto, Judge, and Stanton. With any one of those three guys, you think about what Judge just did in the month of May. What Soto did. Each one of those three guys could have a month like that. And next thing you're like, Stanton could this month hit like 10 home runs. You're like, shit, he's got 30 at the end of also.
So hypothetically, if it comes down to the end of the year, hypothetically, it's Judge versus Soto for MVP, and both of their numbers are incredible.
Judge is going to win it because he's a better defensive player.
Okay.
And here's the other thing, and this is where it really just takes the lineup to an unbeatable, and it's Gleyber, because like Joe said, this lineup already doesn't have that many holes. DJ's back last night. He's batting ninth. Beautiful base hit. Boom.
That's nice.
Volpe's one of the best shortstops. Young player, and like he said last night, if you listen to his press conference, I haven't even come close to my peak. Which it's not. It's kind of like be aware. But I'm 23 years old. But what guys at 23 are at their peak at Major League Baseball? Him and Judge both have reached base.
Yeah, Juan Soto.
No, Soto didn't reach his peak at 23.
Bro, Juan Soto reached his peak in the World Series when he was hitting bombs off of Justin Verlander.
I think you're seeing a better player now.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course.
And Volpe right now and Judge have had a 31 game streak of on base. The highest right now in Major League Baseball ever is Eric Davis and Cal Ripken, 1986, 36. So they're both getting on base. But think about if Gleyber could be somewhat of what he was like 2-3 years ago.
I don't know if Joe will be happy or like I don't know how.
Because then you're looking at this line and going, oh my God, Gleyber's all-star caliber right there. Stanton, MVP, Soto, Judge, Volpe, this takes the lineup to like incredible heights, and then it takes even that much more stress off the pitching staff because like Joe referenced in his earlier thing, guys like Luis Hill and Clark, they haven't pitched 180, 200 plus in. Like, we don't know what Luis Hill is going to be in September. Are we going to get to that stretch where we've had this conversation long before this, years ago when we were up at CSB, where like, they've never pitched in this many. Are we going to skip starts? Are we going to continue? How far are we going to do? Do we hold them off in the postseason? Is Luis Hill at this point, you're going to be your game one starter in the playoffs if he's rolling at 16-4 with like a 2.4 ERA, or is Cole the guy? That's not a problem to have. But I'm just saying.
May I add one more point can I give you one more point on Garrett Cole, by the way?
Yeah.
By October, he will be in mid-season form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not a problem, Joe.
Wow. Here's the thing. You just said Luis Gil or Gil. Hopefully he's been so great, but maybe, like you said, they're going to get to the postseason. This team's not missing the playoffs. They're going to be playing. They're going to have a home field advantage. Hopefully the moment doesn't get too big like back in the day, Luis Severino against the Twins, where Severino was dominant that year. He went in, had too much, he was too ready to go, and he got shelled in the first inning. He got out just like that. We want to see, like you said, Ted, moments like this, games like this are going to prepare him
especially the next 2 weeks. For the fall. They play Baltimore, Atlanta, the Dodgers.
They're going to prepare them for the fall. My X Factor, I don't know, since we've been doing this show, I've always been a big believer of having a great leadoff hitter. And I think you guys will both agree with me on this because I've always been this guy. I've been the one that's always said, when they had Gardner, I was always said, if you could have a guy like Gardner, getting on base, starting this team, getting them going, you got something special. Then DJ came in, and DJ held those incredible seasons, and the team started going, and the offense was moving fast, and they were hitting bombs. That's how I feel about Anthony Volpe. I feel like he's the X factor of this team moving forward because, look, we know what Soto, we know what Judge is going to do. Yes, Stanton, Ted, I think you're a great point. Stanton, if he can play like he did, let's be honest. The three Clydesdales in this friggin' lineup, Ted, are Soto, Judge, and Stanton. It's not Volpe. Volpe does everything. Volpe does everything.
100% Volpe.
The three Clydesdales of this Clydesdales of this offense. Volpe is more important. Volpe is more important to this team's success than Stanton, I would say, because of his play in the field, but also his base running and just him getting on base. His last 25, 26 games
for the rest of the lineup.
Exactly. That's 26 games, 25 hits, batting .321 with an OPS of .876. So he's doing his job.
I think they made the right decision in keeping him and not going to get one of these high price.
And it's making it easier because guess what? Once he gets on base, pitchers got to be like, oh shit. Now we have to go against Soto. Now we have to go against Judge. And then we got to go against Giancarlo Stanton and add Verdugo, who has been just as clutch. I mean, I'm surprised none of us even mentioned him in this lineup because he's been incredible.
You didn't even talk about Rizzo either because Rizzo hasn't done anything.
Rizzo's Rizzo. He's going to be a good first baseman. He'll have some clutch hits, but I don't expect much from him to carry this offense. Everything starts at the top of the lineup. It starts with Volpe. Volpe is the main X factor for me just because of his base running, getting on base, and he starts everything. If he doesn't start everything, you get Soto, you get Judge, but it's so much better to have a guy on first base or second when right off the bat, then you get Soto coming up and then Judge, and you're last night, and then you're like last night where you're getting a bases loaded opportunity, and then Judge rips a bases clearing triple. Like, that's how it starts. Everything starts with Volpe. I think he's the biggest X factor moving forward. And he looks like a completely different team, Joe, or player at the plate than he was last year.
I'll give you that one. I'll tell you right.
Wow, you're agreeing with me?
I'm going to agree with you here.
This is a stunner.
I think it was
June 6th
overlooked.
June 6th of 2024. This is a momentous occasion.
I think it was so important to have the right guy leading off because to me, Judge, Soto, Stanton, and again, I'll say too, you're right. Verdugo gets a lot of credit. I only left him out because as soon as Jason Dominguez gets here, his at-bats are going to start getting limited. And if Dominguez picks it up where he left off,
a good problem
that could be a whole other X factor, by the way.
Oh yeah.
If Jason Dominguez comes up and banks, 30 home runs.
Where do you bat him in the lineup?
Oh, I mean, listen, you like your righty. I would throw him right in there between Judge and Stanton. And then I would drop Verdugo behind Stanton with Labor behind that. And you can go yourself because that's tough to navigate right there. But you're right. Listen, Anthony Volpe, especially when he had that super hot streak, the 21-game hitting streak after the real hot streak for him. You needed the right guy because it sets the table for Soto. Soto's a really tough at bat. Judge is a really tough at bat. These guys not only knocking in runs and producing and hitting homers, they're getting on base. Stanton's been hitting 3-run homers like it's his job.
Yeah.
You're again, because the bases are constantly full. There's constantly traffic on the base path. Now Stanton gets up, he's seeing fastballs, and I don't know what it is.
If you're a pitcher in today's baseball and you're going against this Yankees lineup, you're lucky if you get a 1-2-3.
Yeah, to me, this is the toughest lineup there is right now in baseball. And you're right, the Orioles, very good lineup. The Phillies, the Dodgers, again, I think that 9-hole at third base, you can get around that one a little bit.
Do you know what
this
the sad
Yankee
part,
lineup? Joe? There's nobody I would want to go after in this Yankees lineup.
Rizzo. I think Rizzo's the weak spot right now.
Yeah, sure, you could say it's Rizzo, but what's Rizzo got? 9 homers. I mean, I think he's been one of the more productive first basemen in Major League Baseball. Look, where's Jose Abreu right now?
That Astros team's falling apart. They just lost a couple more guys. Here's my thing. You know what the sad part about Anthony Volpe's incredible season? He's probably not even going to make the All-Star game. Because Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt Jr. are having just incredible seasons as well.
And also those teams have better fans that actually vote for the All-Star team.
I know that the Royals have always a great. Remember the time that the Royals had like the whole friggin' lineup,
because those people have nothing better to do.
Hey, but the Royals are playing what? Hey, they got something going. They got a nice.
It's fine. It's fine. But all of them, really, all of them. Come on.
No, but this year they're playing.
You would think Yankee fans easily double Kansas City Royals, but we're spoiled, rich snobs who don't give a shit. No, and you got people who are just like sitting at their house, like, how many times a day can I vote for my guy? So wait, 3 times a day. So I'll do it in the morning, afternoon, and night, and then I'll just do it 7 days a week for like,
I mean, realistically, this
right. First of all, they wake up early to milk the cows, so they're up early. What are you going to do all day?
They wake up after they milk the cow. They go watch Patrick Mahomes highlights.
Trev, when's the last time you vote? When's the last time you voted? Do you vote? You've never voted. I vote every year.
I vote every year. 25
times. I have. No, don't say I've never. I have voted.
Joe, 25 times is the max.
Yes. Have you voted 25 times, both of you?
I vote 25 times on 3 different email accounts, and it's all Yankees all the time.
I do real stuff. Like, I don't vote for the Yankee catcher because he's not deserving. I won't vote for Rizzo. The Yankees should have
Soto, Judge,
5 guys.
Luis Gil, Clay Holmes should be in the All-Star game.
I've been doing this my whole life. Whenever I vote for the All-Star,
you just pick every Yankee.
Yeah. It's the fan vote. I don't give a shit what your guy's doing. I don't care.
Oh, I do, because you want to see the best players. Like
Joe just wants to give everybody a participation trophy.
Ted, if the commissioner was like, Ted, pick a team, then yeah, I understand you would want to pick the best of the best. You're just voting.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
What are you doing?
I don't want to vote for a Yankee catcher or Rizzo. Like, they don't deserve it. I want to see like Trout or.
So let's ask.
You're not going to affect the vote that much. Again, you're not picking the team. You're just casting 25 votes.
Let's see
how
much
you're going to get outvoted by Kansas City fans. So don't.
Joe, how much?
Vote our guys.
Joe, how much are you? Let's see if you're a real Yankee fan. Okay, so you vote for every Yankee player, right?
Yes.
Do you vote for Mr. Gleyber Torres?
Yeah, of course I do.
He said every Yankee guy.
This man bashes.
He might be a terrible hole in the infield, but he is a Yankee.
So I'm going to vote for him.
Listen, look, you guys remember, let's go back to 2018. Who was the guy who said Gleyber Torres is going to be a superstar? I said it, and then I was wrong.
Trevor's question was, would Gleyber or Judge be the face of the franchise going forward?
I did.
That was a question on our show.
Hey, there was a time when Gleyber was hitting 30-plus home runs in back-to-back seasons. I mean, it was not a bad question at the time.
When he was hitting 20 a year in the 19 games at the terrible Baltimore Orioles, we were like, damn, this guy's really good. Then the Orioles got good, and it's like, is Gleyber that good?
Yeah, really that. Hey, look, when I posted that question, to my defense, when I made that post, Gleyber was coming off back-to-back 30 home run seasons, so it wasn't like it was a bad question.
And also was the runner-up rookie of the year to Ohtani in 2018.
So it wasn't.
He looked like he was on his way to superstardom, and then the wheels have come off the bus. He's still maintaining. He's hit a couple of dingers of late. But again, the defense is not great. And if these guys are going to keep these ERAs nice and low, everybody under 3, you can't. Well, I mean, I guess it won't affect their ERAs, but it will hurt you.
It will hurt the team because you have losses like against the Mariners.
Did Amy Gray make fun of any clothes today that you were wearing?
Is that Patrick Clapp?
No, I know. I was just going through.
Oh, you guys crack me up. We definitely eventually have to get you and Pat on.
Dude, when Pat calls it Amy Gray, because he sends me all like the
cracks
thing. He's like, "Oh, hurry up, turn on 141," and he calls in like things.
It's so funny.
Just like their connection, I think, is so funny.
I want to hear Joe and Pat actually talk on the same time. It'd be great to hear them conversate one another, because that would be. They've only met one time, I think. I think they met one time.
Yeah,
we got to make that happen again. Yes, this Yankee team, if you're a Yankee fan right now in general, you're very excited. But this is a true test. This is a test. I don't care that Paul Skeens, he's a pretty good freaking pitcher right now. And he did pretty well against them. So let's just talk about this match, and we'll close out with this. To us, both of us, it could be Yankees or the Dodgers. Is this weekend's matchup more of a test for the Bronx Bombers, or is it the Dodgers, Ted?
Yankees, 100%. Because the few teams that the Yankees have played that are above 500, they haven't done well against. They've beaten up on everyone else. And I really don't give a shit about the Dodgers. Really don't care. Do what you got to do.
I get it. Hey,
for me, this is all about the Yankees, right? Continue the streak, continue to play well. I would be absolutely shocked out of my mind if they ever got swept.
Who, the Yankees?
Yeah, I would expect them to. I know. I listen. It's Yankee Stadium. Like, I want to see some of these young guys, especially in the pitching staff. I want to see. I want to see how Nestor does. I want to see Luis Hill pitch Sunday, and then who's the kid pitching Friday night?
Poteet.
It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. He's not going to be on the final roster, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, he's going against Yamamoto, so it's a big deal.
Whatever. Yamamoto sucks. Great. Glad you spent $500 million zillion on him. Who cares? He stinks. Can't wait to put the bill. Listen, this is about the
$500 zillion. All right, Biden.
No, this is all feet. This is all about the Yankees, bro. It's really all about the Yankees because I think every time you play, like we played Baltimore, and I know we're going to play them in a week or two, but we got beat, I think, 3 out of 4 games. So we really haven't. I mean, I get it. We beat Cleveland. Cleveland's in first place in the Central. Does anyone really take Cleveland seriously? Like, come on. Realistically, there's only 2 teams I worry about in the East. I mean, the whole AL, and it's Orioles and Yankees. I don't worry about anyone. The Astros right now are in trouble. I don't worry about the Mariners. Yeah, the Yankees smoked them.
The best team in the AL Central. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Again, listen, when you're the best team in the AL Central, you're mostly beating up on small market mediocre teams. And you're just the best of the small mediocre teams. That's where Cleveland is.
That was legit. Like, seriously. Like,
Kansas City Royals, they won a World Series. They
won a World. They played fundamental baseball. You know how the fundamentals go.
The Kansas City Royals have won a World Series more recently than the New York Yankees.
By the way, so what?
I'm just saying.
So what does that matter? They got lucky. They get lucky every now and again.
You know who they beat, right?
Yeah, the Giants.
No, they beat the Mets.
Oh, the Mets. Yeah, they lost to the Giants. They lost to the Giants. They lost to the Giants, and they went back and beat the Mets.
Hey, they won a World Series. That's all.
I have to disagree with Ted, by the way, on this question. I think this is a bigger test for the Dodgers.
What's going on here?
Dodgers dropped 5 in a row 2 weeks ago, and they've gone through a bit of a rough stretch. Otherwise, if you look at their record, they'll reel off 6 or 7 in a row and then drop a couple, but like I said, they got swept by Cincinnati. They lost 2 out of 3 to Arizona. It was not a good week for the Dodgers. And so I think you could make the same argument for the Dodgers as you can for the Yankees. And Ted, you know what? That shouldn't surprise you that they struggle with teams that are above 500. Those are good teams. Those are legitimately good teams.
And I think that's how you always test yourself, right?
100%. But I'll tell you right now, the Dodgers have done worse against good teams than the Yankees have. They've struggled even more. So I think for the Dodgers, like I said, you hold these 2 lineups up. I think you see the little bit of weakness at the bottom. The 8-9 spots in the Dodgers lineup is not as impressive as what the Yankees lineup has done. It hasn't been as productive. So it'll again, listen, you come ask me on Monday. Ask me this question on Monday, my answer might be different. If, say, the Yankees got swept, I would say, it was definitely a bigger test for the Yankees and they blew it. If the Yankees somehow were to sweep the Dodgers, I would come back on Monday and I would say to you, see, the Dodgers can't compete with the Yankees. That's pretty telling. That probably also shifts Las Vegas's money over to the Phillies as the favorite coming out of the National League, I would think.
If the Yankees swept the Dodgers, we got something really going. If they sweep them and they take care of business, how they've been playing pitching-wise and offensively,
I think the Yankees will win 2 out of 3. A sweep would be nice, but I think the Dodgers just overall are too good of a team to sweep. Yeah, but they just got swept by the Reds.
They struggled against the Pirates too.
So there you go. So again, nobody's perfect. I think the Dodgers will find out a lot about themselves in this series. If they play well against the Yankees, everyone's going to say, this Dodgers team really is great. If the Yankees beat the crap out of them, you're going to be like, all that money you spent, you still suck.
Really, they beat up on the Mets. I mean, the Pirates have already taken 2 out of – Pirates have already beaten 2 games, right, 2 in a row, so they played 3-game sets.
Ted, I think he was more surprised that you didn't agree with him.
Of course I actually do agree with him, but I just thought,
oh my God,
it's a show. Kenny knows what he's talking about.
What? I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're the host with the most.
I'm just a goat.
For me, Trev, I think listen,
I would agree with Ted though.
I'm holding
in this question.
unlike emotion, I'm holding my excitement back. Because like I saw, what was it, 2 years ago, where we were like 62-20, like in the beginning.
But this
of the
is
season.
a different team.
I 100% agree with. Even Aaron Boone said the team feels it. I think everything about this team is different, right? And I understand that there's no Cole. Clark Schmidt is out. Dominguez has come back. This team is not even where it's potentially could be in early September. I get it. I just want to kind of hone it all in and kind of
I get it.
All up.
I get
and
it.
Just because as great as what we've seen so far, what are we, 44-19?
44-19, tied with the best record in baseball right now.
There's so much baseball left. Like there's so much.
199 games left.
And that's what killed. How many?
99 games left.
Oh, I thought you said
already at 6. There's 63 games in.
I want to hone it all in because baseball season. It's like one thing. It was like football. If you're 8-0, it's kind of like, yeah, you kind of know this team is rocking and rolling. Baseball, there's just so much baseball left to be played. There's so many things that can occur. That's why I'm just like, it's great. It's exciting, but I'm not going to jump the gun and say anything until like we're like mid-September and like, we're 2 weeks away from the playoffs. Like, hey, listen, we're 5 games up in the AL East. We're the number 1 seed. We're going to have a couple days of rest. Cole is back. Dominguez is rested. Like everything. Well,
that's why I said
everything is kind of in good nature. Soto and Judge are in the last week are going to be fighting for MVP votes. Like that's really where I want to be.
Well, that's why I said, Ted,
at the ultimate goal. Because at the end of the day, we all know this. We've had this conversation since we started this show. God, I can't believe it's been almost like 8 years, but 7, 8 years. But win a World Series, like really, that's what we're at right now. We're no more.
What is this show gonna? What is this show? I want to know what this show is going to be like when the New York Yankees actually win a World Series, because we talked about them for so much, and we have never seen them win a World Series since doing Keys to the City. That's why I said
doing daily shows on.
That's why I said why this month is such a huge deal for the Yanks, because you play the Dodgers this week. Then you go to Kansas City. I get it. Kansas City is Kansas City, but they're playing well. Then you go to Boston. Boston is always Boston against the Yankees. It doesn't matter. Then you play Baltimore. Baltimore's coming to the Bronx. Then you get Atlanta at the end of the month. Then you get New York, and then you get Toronto. So that's why I said I know it's only June 6th, but this is a huge month moving forward for the Yankees. They've been incredible, this team overall, and this is a different team. The energy, the chemistry, and just the overall fun that this team is having. Just you see them having fun with the crowd. It just feels like I get it. As New York fans, we've been like just hoping for some positivity because the Giants haven't been good. The Jets haven't been good. The Rangers didn't win the championship this year. The Knicks, unfortunately, had too many injuries. The Nets have been bad. The Islanders haven't been good. It's just like the Mets also have been bad, but the Yankees have always been the Yankees. And we're just, as New York fans, we're just like, please God. I know people don't like New York's sports, and it's fair enough. I get it. But damn, we're just like, please give us a fucking title. We just need it. We just need it. For the love of God, do something. It's just, we need it. We really do need it. And by the way, these two teams, I just want to say, top 5, what they're currently top 5 in right now, both of them. Batting average, the Yankees are 3rd, Dodgers are 4th. Pitching, Yankees are 1st, Dodgers, or pitching wins, I should say. Yankees are 1st, Dodgers are 5th. Home runs, Yankees are tied 1st with the Orioles, Dodgers are 4th. And the ERA, Yankees are 1st, Dodgers are 4th. So you're getting two of the best teams in baseball playing in the Bronx. It's going to be an electrifying weekend in the Bronx. I can't wait for it.
Good weather, too.
Yeah, great weather. It just comes down to, and I'm staying with this Yankee narrative, and since the day that it happened, Aaron Boone, don't fuck it up, because you have your best team you've ever had. I'm just be very frank and very short and sweet. This is the best team you've ever had on paper, and you don't even have your full team yet back either. Don't screw it up.
Yeah, listen, there's never been a time where the Yankees got off to this kind of start. They've actually had 6 starts like this in history, and they won the World Series every time. But I don't want to. I'm not trying to jump the gun, but just you know, winning 44 out of their first 63 games has literally only happened 6 times. And pick the years. I think it was like 98, 77.
2009
pick the Mickey Mantle year, a couple of DiMaggio's, and maybe a Ruth Gehrig year. But every time
another year was 2009.
Yeah, well, they're again, they're the way this team is
year.
playing right now. I don't expect, because they're so good and they're so relaxed, and they are having fun.
Very patient.
I was reading the other day, they were talking about, bringing in a guy like Stroman, and a lot of that, because Yankee fans mostly suck. A lot of people weren't crazy about that move. I was excited about it. I like Marcus Stroman.
I was interested in it.
I think he's the right kind of personality. He's like a Reggie Jackson type or Ricky Henderson. He's kind of bigger than life. He belongs.
That's a great reference.
It's a guy that belongs in New York and not for the Mets.
He feels like
pinstripes.
The three big moves they made. The
three big moves they made have been kind of changed this whole dynamic of this franchise. Alex Verdugo, Juan Soto, and Marcus Stroman. Yeah, it just seems like they have a whole new energy to this clubhouse.
I guess Brian Cashman knows what he's doing.
Those guys have all said that they feel like they're the understanding of the Yankees. Obviously, Verdugo had to shave the beard and all that. Was that it's that kind of place. It's a little uptight and very professional, and all they care about is winning, as Ruben Sierra pointed out when he got traded by the Yankees. And
Love Ruben.
Yeah. All they care about is winning. Yes, God damn it. Why wouldn't we? That's what this is. But listen, letting these guys have fun and be expressive. And you remember what was the year when they had the video cameras? You remember that year?
Video cameras.
Yeah. That was like 2-3 years ago. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember they were pushing the car, pretending like they had to.
Yeah.
That was a fun team that wasn't talented enough. Right. I don't think they had enough good players, but they had the right attitude in there. And so, again, I think Aaron Boone, he does a good job of handling personalities and players and really does. Again, if he likes you, we could talk all day about how he ruined the careers of Miguel Andujar and Clint Frazier, Gary Sanchez. The list goes on and on. But he's done a really good job letting these guys do what they got to do. And you see the fun and excitement. It does have a very 98 vibe, not the team itself, but that idea that every night, Ted, you think to yourself, they're winning this game tonight. And the pitching matchups almost always seem to favor them.
Yeah, absolutely. 100,000%. It's great. It's great. It's positivity, man. It's something that we don't really can talk much about it because we talk so much in New York sports and we don't get a lot of that positivity, especially like we said with the other sports. We don't talk hockey because we don't know enough about hockey. The Giants, there's just nothing good to talk about, So, and then, basketball, what are we going to talk about? So
the Knicks. No, I'm just kidding. But hey, it's a huge weekend for sports. The NBA Finals starting tonight. You got the Stanley Cup Finals on Saturday. New York Yankees, the LA Dodgers in the Bronx. It's going to be one hell of a sports weekend. Cannot wait. Huge test for both the Dodgers and the New York Yankees. We are Keys to the City. We'll see you next episode. We are out.
You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.